You got a rip in your couch. Kick that shit. Watch your butt.
Hi folks, and welcome to the Salty Seaman. You know, one of my last videos I just did military-wise was on how not to be a fucking boot. You know, and it was done in a lot of, just fun and, taking a little piss at everything. But the thing I noticed was a lot of boots or people about to be boots kind of thank me like, hey, appreciate that. Like, that's some shit I don't want to fucking do and get in, make myself look to be like an asshole. So thanks for the advice. So it made me think, maybe there's some other stuff I can give advice to those just join the military, or maybe those who are about to go in. Different things, different faux pas you shouldn't be doing. And one of the first things that popped in my head, I'm sorry to say, is hygiene. All right, first of all, I'm not calling you a fucking dirtbag and you don't fucking wash because you're a boot. Okay, get that out of the way. I know there's tons of OCD fucking scrubaholic fucking boots and military people of every stripe. I mean, yeah, that is the thing. Everything I say in this video for some of you might be like, well, yeah, fuck yeah, of course I do that. But you'd be surprised. You'd be really fucking surprised at how many people do not do these things I'm talking about. Now, I'm going to have a Navy bent to this because I'm in the Navy, or I retired from the Navy, but overall, a lot of this applies to everybody else, and I will break it down where I need to for other services or non-ship life. So let me start off with number one thing you should do hygiene-wise. Take a fucking shower every day. This is non-transferable. This is anything just like, well, I can skip a day. Well, no. Take a fucking shower every goddamn day you are at work. I do not care if you've taken 30 showers in a row and one day you had a rough night and you just want to get up and just go to work and throw your uniform on. No. Get in the fucking shower. Use soap. Put on deodorant. Brush your teeth. All that good shit does not matter. And I'm not saying this because, one person who's normally a good hygiene person, had one bad day and they got shit on. Now, usually this is because it was as a person who continually does this. But, why even get yourself in that category of one of those people? Why not make sure, no matter what happens, within the last 12 hours, you've had a fucking shower, whether it was the night before or it was the morning of, you're fucking clean. You've used soap and water. You've got fucking deodorant on. Your teeth are brushed. All that basic shit is fucking done. I say this because it doesn't happen a lot, and in the military, you are in very close quarters a lot of fucking time, okay? If your hygiene is not up to fucking snuff, guess what? Someone's going to fucking notice. And it might just be a day. It might just be a continual thing. I know in the Navy, the guys who really have a trouble with this, for whatever reason, they were raised wrong, or they just, they could shower every 3 or 4 days in high school and no one ever said anything to them and they were okay, and they go in the military and all of a sudden, you'll get away with it one time. Someone will give you a fucking mulligan, but I guarantee you after that, you're going to be the smelly guy and someone's going to be calling you out, and next thing you know, I'll say in the Navy, they're sending you to medical for a fucking hygiene check. And eventually, if you can't fucking correct yourself, you know what's going to happen? Somebody senior to you has to go watch you take a shower every night and sign it in a logbook. I am not making that up. That's how it works in the Navy. If you're a fucking consistent, stinky motherfucker, we don't fucking play. Birthings are 18 to 20 to 30 to whatever men, and it's a lot of dudes and women crammed into one tiny space. And if there's any kind of breakdown in hygiene on anybody, it's going to be noticed, and no one's going to put up with it. So you go to the barracks for any service, your roommate's going to notice if you fucking stink. Your workmates are going to notice they just have to walk around you all the time. And it's like, hey, fucking Smith smells like shit all the time. What the fuck? And eventually that gets to the right ear and they're like, send his ass to medical and get him a fucking hygiene check. I am not fucking kidding on this shit. So no matter what you've been doing in civilian life and you think you're getting by it okay, you think your hygiene's okay, or maybe you just don't really understand the whole hygiene thing, you need to figure it out pretty quick, okay? Now, leading right into that is your laundry, okay? Now, this one is, this is dependent on how you were raised. Some people have done their laundry since they were 13 or earlier than that, whatever. That's cool. A lot of people, their mamas did their laundry their entire life. I'll admit, my mom did my laundry till I fucking left for boot camp. I had to fucking, but I knew as soon as I got to where I had to do my own, I needed to fucking go do it because there's nothing worse than a giant pile of steaming, stinky laundry. And here's another part where you start to smell is your laundry bag. In the barracks, it's a little less, but at the same time, you're going to have a roommate usually. And, if you just have a giant bag of your fucking dirty underwear that you haven't changed in fucking 3 weeks, it's going to stink. It's going to stink your fucking room up. If you're on a ship, it gets fucking worse. Now, the ships have different ways of doing with it. Sometimes they have hooks in the berthings for the laundry. Sometimes everyone goes, puts it in a fucking bin. Sometimes you have to keep it on your rack. And that's the worst. If you're keeping it on your rack, you better be sure you're fucking going to wash that shit very regularly or it's going to start stinking the place up because it's a small quarters. I don't care. If you're, you bought 3 weeks worth of underwear, skivvies and socks for deployment and you were so you don't have to do laundry that often. Trust me, you still need to do it way more often than that. Now, going back to that on the ship, there's other ways to do it. They wash their uniforms. They'll wash your underwear if you mark it, writing your name in a stencil on your underwear. A lot of people don't want to do that. That's why most people on the ship, pretty much wash their own shit other than maybe their uniform. Just for that reason. But I'm sitting here telling you, leading into my next point, you need to change your fucking drawers every goddamn day. This goes for import. This goes for non-deployment. This especially goes for deployment. I'm not talking about guys out in the fucking, really out in the field guys, who don't have any of these options. You motherfuckers are going to stink. You Marines, you soldiers, whatever. I get it. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about in garrison. I'm talking about in the barracks. I'm talking about on the ship. Places where you have a fucking option. There's no reason to stink. There's no reason to wear fucking the same t-shirt, the same underwear, the same pair of socks any fucking day in a row. There should be no reason. Like I said, I talk about people who buy 3 weeks worth of that shit. At least they're trying not to wear the same shit over and over again. Guarantee you, another thing we're going to start to stink, even if you're taking a shower every day, guess what? If you put the same dirty drawers on, the same fucking skivvy shirt on, the same stinky socks on every fucking day, that stink is going to build up and build up. You can't get away with it. That shit needs to be washed. It can't just sit in your laundry bag. You definitely can't put it back on more than one time, ever. That shit has to be fucking changed. And you need to figure out how to get your laundry done on a somewhat regular basis. I know it's a fucking time killer. On a ship, you want to go get your shit done. It's I have so much work going on. How the fuck do I get my own stuff? Ship's laundry exists. I know a lot of people don't like to use it because, they screw up your shit, whatever. But you got to fucking do it. And you got to do it every 3, 4, once a week. That shit's got to get fucking done. It just fucking stinks. And you're with 30 other fucking guys. And you're all relying on each other not to fucking stink. So one other thing, changing your linen, same thing. If your mama's always come in your room, change your linen, and you think it was the linen fairy, guess what? No, that's on you now, and you need to change that shit regularly. I'm not going to tell you how often. I mean, it depends on how bad you fucking sweat and how bad you stink. You may be able to get away with maybe a month without really needing to change your linen. Maybe you need to change it once a week. Whatever it is, make sure make sure you're paying attention to your linen. If it's turning yellow because it's usually white, guess what? It needs to be fucking changed because you fucking stink, and everyone around you knows you fucking stink. Now, here's a couple other smaller ones, especially talking about uniforms, the outer shell of your BDUs or NWs or whatever it might be. Those have to be changed regularly too. That's a little different one. I mean, obviously, if you're in the military, like sometimes you'll wear those things for a while. As long as you're changing the underskivvies, you're probably okay. But like that's a fucking nose thing. Like I know some people who change it daily. They own 21 sets of fucking BDUs or NWUs. That's on them. Like they want to change everything about themselves daily. Cool. In reality, like that's one that's not going to get changed daily. But you need to know like how often you need to fucking change that out. At the minimum, 1 week. That's really pushing it. If you're doing something really fucking gross or sweaty or it's really hard working, you might be looking at every 3 or 4 days. That shell, that NW, that BDU needs to fucking go and get washed, sent to ship's laundry, sent to whoever it is in the field. If you're in the barracks and the garrison or whatever, like, yeah, you have no excuse. But, pay attention to that too. Don't just think like, well, I can just wear this all fucking day, blah, 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 and I can wear this for a month. No. Like that thing's going to really start to fucking reek. Worse than about anything other than your underskivvies. Another thing, this is for the Navy folk. I don't see this most in the other services. I definitely see it with the Marines that came on my ship. But yeah, in the Navy, you don't get in your rack with your uniform on. Period. Doesn't matter if it's a nooner, your uniform is clean, you think it's tight, you're just going to go lay down for an hour, whatever. No. The shirt, the top comes off, the bottom goes off. You go, definitely your boots come off. You go in your rack and your skivvies or your PJs. Period. Do not wear them into that. That is a Navy faux pas. Doesn't matter what you think the status of your uniform is. You will not wear that into your rack. That is just considered bad fucking form. In the Navy, we're pretty good at policing it. I've seen for you Marines that are coming in. That might be do a float on a MEU. You guys don't do that, and I'm always disgusted. I go into Marine fucking berthing, and there's just dudes in their fucking deserts or camis just in their racks, and those places usually stink anyway. Infantry really needs to learn some hygiene issues when it comes to the ship. So hopefully, listen to this, pay attention to me, and don't be the stinky fucking grunt in your barracks and your berthing on the ship. And for you Navy guys, definitely watch out for this. Like these are just things like you'll get a fucking reputation. Like you get away with it 1 or 2 times at max. That oh my God, like you showed up, you just passed out because you drank the night before, and you came in and you smelled a little bit. But your overall hygiene's okay, so no one's really going to notice that much. It's usually the guys who just really don't shower that often, and the mornings they really fucking come in and like it's sweaty and it's hot and it's close quarters, and it just happens over and over again. Those are the people we notice. Those are the guys that get in trouble. And like of all the things you get in trouble in the military for, this is one you can control so easily with a little bit of time. If you're a shitty worker, you're a fucking skate, you're a whatever your issues is, like, none of them compare to like being known as the guy who fucking stinks all the time. We had a deck seaman on my first ship, this guy named Hokum, and he just, they burned his mattress when he left, and no one took his bare rack area for like a year because the word was out. Don't go where that guy was because he was so disgusting. He was on a shower watch and a dental watch. They had to watch him like shower every night and brush his teeth every night. That's how disgusting this guy was, and you look at that and you think like, oh my God, I would never be that fucking, like, I can't imagine someone that disgusting. Like, well, don't be that guy. Like, keep that in your mind every time you're looking at yourself and you want to be that, a professional military guy. Part of that is, you're like the clothes you're wearing, how you smell, and how often you can like at least change your fucking stuff, put on deodorant, all that good stuff. It's super, super important. And the military is a place where they're not going to be very lenient on you for very long on it. They're going to call you out, and it's not going to be fun. So I hope this helped out some new boots or future boots. If you got any other suggestions, tips, things you want to know about joining the military, let me know. Some of my vets, let me know some other things that'd be good information to pass on to our future fleeters. I'd love to do videos on them. Just let me know. Subscribe to this video if you like it. Like it. Ring the bell so you can get my subscriptions up to date every time I upload a video. I'd appreciate it. YouTube's making it hard for all of us out here. Anyway, that's all the Salty Seaman's got for now. Hope you guys like this video, and I love you freaks. Peace the fuck out.